ready to gain valuable insights, practical tips, and expert advice to improving your overall well-being as we discuss all things health, the holistic approach for your spirit, soul, and body. Welcome to another episode of the Health Talk Show. And as I say all the time, come on in, tag, like, and share for those who may want and need this show that you are connected to. So I am so excited for this show on today because I have special guests that I'm going to bring on in a few moments, but I do want to let you know that this is the month of February, and we are so excited in regards to that. And one of the things that I do try to do with the Health Talk Show is to bring you informative information, to be able to give you some information that can help you and your loved ones see the things that needs to be seen. And this month is no different. Thank you all for those who joined us on last month when we talked about food and the relationship with food and food addictions. And if you wanted to know and see that show, all you have to do is go on our YouTube page called The Health Talk Show, and you can see this season first episode and last season episodes. And so you can see and find that there. Yes, come on in. Welcome. When you come on in, just put in the chat, hello. We are grateful to see you, and thank you for tagging, liking, and sharing. Thank you so much for that. So this particular episode, we're going to focus on one of the things that is a health awareness in the month of February. And believe it or not, the week of February 14th through the 21st is Alzheimer's disease dementia care staff education week. And so it is important for us to gain some knowledge in these areas. And I do have a special guest with an S, two individuals that's coming on with me to talk about their life and journey and what the Lord is and have been doing in their life. So I don't want to talk too much without further ado. I want to be able to introduce you to my special guest on today. So let me bring them on now so that we could get started on the show. Hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me? All right.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right. Can you hear okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Can you see me okay?
Yes, we can.
All right. Great. Well, I want people to know who you are. So tell the audience a little bit about yourselves if you wanted to introduce yourself on this day.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's Al and Angela Callaghan, and February is our month. My birthday is in February, our anniversary is in February, and Al's birthday is in February. So we feel like we own February. So it's only right that we should be here with you.
Yes, this is exciting. Listen, shameful plug, my husband's birthday is February also, February 22nd as well. So we all in good company here.
Yeah.
Yes. So how long have you all been married?
Oh gosh, you usually get upset when your husband don't remember how many years. I don't remember. We were married February 15th, 2003.
Oh, okay. A long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So I'm excited to hear you all's story. And this is a serious topic that we're talking about on today. And I'm just so glad that you all said yes to coming on the Health Talk Show to share with us what you have found out and learned through this journey that you all have. So I do have some questions, and we may not get to all the questions depending on the flow and the spirit, but I want to be able to start with um, when did you notice any signs, anything out the ordinary with uh, Al?
Okay, so I'm going to take you back to 2013. Al worked for a major telephone company for 31 years. He came home one day and said, "Baby, I quit today." I said,
Mm.
"What do you mean you quit today?" He said, "I quit. I told him I didn't know where I was or what I was doing and I couldn't do it anymore." And I was like, "No, you don't quit. You could have went out on disability or anything. So the next morning I went back with him. I said, "Let's go back so I can talk to your supervisor." So we went back up there, and we was trying to explain the stress he had been under and what we had been through. We had just come out of a real bad scam, and so the stress had him worn down. And she said, "Miss Callaghan, he had already been forgetting things." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I'm still clueless. I still don't know anything. And so I said, "Well, okay, they're not going to let you come back. Um, so let's move forward." So I fixed up his resume. Al would get a job in the drop of a hat. 31 years with a major telephone company. They were ready to hire him. And so
Woo.
2 weeks of the training would go fine. But that third week, when they turned you loose to go out and do your own, wouldn't make it. Wouldn't do it. I know Al had 10 jobs. I know it had to have been 10 jobs before I said, "Okay, wait, something's going on." And I found a neurologist, and we went, and they did the first MRI, and it came back that he had a lot. These was the exact words. He has a lot of OTIAs, which is causing him to have short-term memory.
Mm.
So now we
Okay.
we know he has short-term memory. So we would go see this particular doctor twice a year. He put him on medication for Alzheimer's. And even though he never said it was Alzheimer's, he never called it dementia. He just said he had a lot of old TIAs, which causes short term memory.
Mm.
So we did that up until 2020. 2020, things really started going awry. I would run to my office crying, "God, this is more than short term memory. I don't know what this is, but something else is going on." So about a year later, maybe, I heard in my spirit, "Is Al's hearing."
Mm.
I said, "It's Al's hearing?" So I come back at the office to say something to him. And as I'm talking to him, he's like reading my lips. And I go, "Oh God, Al's reading my lips." So I made arrangements to get his hearing checked. So we did that. And come to find out, if you don't correct your hearing, it can turn into dementia.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, you hear that, people? She said if you don't check your hearing, it can turn into dementia. And before you begin or continue, I want to be able to share this with you so that the audience will know the difference. Um, Dementia of what this is medical definition, but dementia is a broad umbrella term for a decline in the cognitive function of memory, reasoning. Okay. And um, I want to be able to share that. And then the definition of Alzheimer's is a specific progression of fatal disease. Okay. And so what they said this in the definition is dementia is a set of symptoms. The Alzheimer's is a specific disease. And so when you said that about the hearing can turn into dementia, hearing is obviously connected to our sensory, right?
Yes.
And you said that it could turn into a dementia. So people, listen, it could turn into a symptom. of dementia. So this is good because this is education as
Yes.
well for
Yes.
individuals who may
Yes.
not know what's the difference, or they may put the term incorrectly when they talk to somebody or maybe notice something in their relative. Okay, so I stopped, and so now I'm going back in. So you said that part about hearing can turn into dementia. Okay, so what happened now?
Well, and the reason why is because that hearing muscle is not being exercised. It's not getting work. It's not getting a workout. So if you don't use it, you lose it. You know that old
Okay.
technology. So that muscle becomes weak, and if it doesn't have anything to take and transfer to the memory side, it's nothing getting a work. It's not getting a workout. So that was the reason. So we do the hearing test. And the doctor said, so Mr. Callaghan, you've been having trouble hearing? He said, no. But if you ask my wife, she says I am. so she take him in the little room, do the test. And when they come out, she opens the door. She says, Mr. Callaghan,
Hey.
you have not been hearing your wife. You have significant hearing loss in both ears.
Mm.
So we moved forward, got hearing aids, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know how we're going to pay for this, but we got to get it. When it comes to that point of health, you got to do what you got to do. So we did the hearing aids, and that took us into about another year. There were still hiccups, though. There was still a lot of hiccups. So it was time to have that another MRI. I was having MRIs every 2 years, okay, with this particular doctor. Well, that last MRI in 2023, the doctor never called to make an appointment to have a follow-up to get us updated on what the test results were.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember how long, but it was a good little while before I said, wait a minute, we haven't heard from the doctor. So I called. I said, by any chance, did you guys get the results from the MRI that Al took? She looked it up. She said, yes, ma'am, we have it. I said, you do? I said, well, can I have a copy of it? She said, yes. So she sent it to me. And as I started reading it, I was like, okay, it's a lot of big words here, but there's one word I recognize, and it says hemorrhage. That means blood.
Mm.
Okay. This doctor never called us to tell us the results. We got to find somebody different. So we went to our GP doctor, general practitioner, and I said, do you have someone you can send us to, a different neurologist? And he said, yes, I do. So he did. And we went, and I gave him the results of the MRI. And so as he's reading it, he's like, oh. And I was like, well, can you tell us what you're reading? Can you break it down to us, all these ooh and ahs. So he gave me the paper back. He said, Ms. Callaghan, the reason why your husband is having memory issues because he has Alzheimer's. Mm-hmm. And Al and I at the same time said, so what are we supposed to do now? He said, oh, there's no cure for it. Just you come back and see me in 6 months. And he got up and walked out the room.
So you're saying that, because I got to get into all of this,
Yes.
You're saying that the doctor was very nonchalant and said, okay, he has Alzheimer's.
There's nothing we can do. There's no cure. Just come back and see me in 6 months. So as we were walking out to the car, I'm thinking, okay, if there's nothing he can do, well, we got to go back and see him in 6 months.
Mm.
So we sat with that for about a week. He had a dentist appointment that I had made for his cleaning. I always try to keep up with all of his health needs. So we go into the dentist's office, and while he's getting his teeth cleaned, I'm sitting in the lobby, and I hear my spirit, find that sticky note. I was like, where am I find that sticky note at? I ain't seen that sticky note since I wrote it. I knew exactly what sticky note. About a year before all of this took place, I was at work and had the TV on, and this doctor came on to tell about all of his research he had been doing with dementia. And I got a sticky note and wrote his name down, Dr. Paul Schultz, UT Health Science, and I wrote the telephone number down. And I put that sticky note down that day. Well, it's a year later, and I'm hearing in my spirit, find that sticky note. So when I get home, my desk is piled up with paperwork because right about now my life is so unorganized. Life is coming at me real fast.
Yeah.
And I get to my desk and I start, okay, God, you got to help me find this sticky note. And so I start taking all this paperwork, and as I'm going through, I'm putting it in the piles, where the pile, in separate piles. The last thing on my desk was that sticky note stuck to the bottom of my desk. And so I got that sticky note and I called, and the receptionist says, well, Dr. Paul Schultz is very busy. He doesn't have any openings till November. Well, this is like April. This is like April or May. And I said, okay. I was like, okay. She said, but we just had a cancellation for August the 3rd.
Come on, God. Come on, God.
So I said, and I have a copy of the MRI. Can I bring the CD? She said, yes, ma'am. So we took it on down there, waited 2 months for our appointment. And we go in and we sit, and the doctor comes in. He has like 4 or 5 interns with him. And he allows them to ask us all kind of questions on what's been going on, so I get them updated. And this one little intern says, oh, yeah, he has Alzheimer's. And Dr. Paul Schultz looked at him, and the little intern say, what, did I say something wrong? And Dr. Schultz turned the monitor around to show us Al's MRI. He said, Al does not have Alzheimer's. Al has CAA. I'm like, what?
Listen.
What?
First of all, I want to say this. It is important, people, the audience here, to get a second opinion. Put that in the chat. Put that in the comments. Get a second opinion, because if you ever have a doubt, or if you feel that your practitioner is not engaged with you, don't care, always telling you to come back for follow-ups, you have a right for a second opinion. And let me just say this. Some people may not feel that they want to go through the process of getting a second opinion. It is necessary at times to get a second opinion. And often your benefits may have a visit that you can have for free to get a second opinion. So my challenge to the audience right now is to check, when you have time, check your benefits, call your customer service department and ask them, how much do I have a benefit for second opinion? Because there are plans that are out there that gives you free second opinion. Take advantage of your benefits that you have with your employer. So I'm so glad that you said that, because I wanted to be able to bring that out for people not to feel stuck with the doctor that they've been with for a long time, or have all these awards and all these kind of things. It's okay to get a second opinion, because I never heard of a CAA,
cerebral amyloid angiopathy. Yes. And we had been with the first neurologist for over 10 years. And so I loved him, because he would always come in the office, joking, hey, Poppy, how you doing? Hey, Mommy. I had to let that false relationship go, because you come in here playing, but you're not telling us what we need to know.
Exactly. And in your short, what's the word I want to say? Your definition of CAA, because we could have a medical terminology here, which we will put in the chat for people, but in your, definition, what is CAA for people out here in this audience?
So, and this is how wonderful this doctor was. He said, I'm going to write it down for you. And so he wrote it down. He said, I'm going to print it so you can read my handwriting.
Come on now.
Hey. So I was able to come home and find out what CAA was, and CAA. Okay, I'm going to try to explain it in the most simplest form. CAA, cerebral amyloid angiopathy. Cerebral means brain. Amyloid means protein. Angiopathy means defective artery. So in the brain, there's a defective artery that does not allow the protein to flow through the blood all the way out. The protein collects inside the walls of the artery because it's like a water hose that get water and mud stuck in it and it doesn't pass through. But once this artery gets so full, it leaks the blood out. And whatever tissue or cell the blood touches, it kills. And Dr. Schultz said that day, if we can stop the brain bleeds, we can stop further brain damage. He pulled up Al's MRI and another MRI of a patient who had Alzheimer's. Al had a spot on the right side of the brain, a dark spot on the right side of the brain. Well, on that other monitor with the Alzheimer's patient's MRI, it was black all the way around. So the protein collects on. Now, in my research, I found out that 90% of people that started out with that has Alzheimer's, it probably started out as CAA because no one knew to try to stop and control the brain bleeds. So if it still leaks out blood, if it's still, it's going to spread and get worse. So if he hadn't have said, if you can stop the brain bleeds, so that means we can stop the brain bleeds. How do you stop the brain bleed? So
exactly. That's my question. That was my question.
You can't feel a brain bleed. You don't know what's happening. As we continue to research, it is hereditary in Al's case, and it can be hereditary. So we have gone all the way back to Al's grandmother, his mother, his mother's sister, his mother's brother, his sister, his brother, and he has another sister right now going through. Same thing. Oh my God, same thing.
Wow.
So I found out during the research period at the age of 56 is usually when the first brain bleed can occur with a CAA, with the CAA disease. Count it back to when Al walked off of AT&T after 31 years, he was 56. When he came home and said, I didn't know what I was doing or where I was, so I quit. Yeah, he was 56. And you just think your spouse is maybe tripping or acting up or what you do that for. You don't do that. Why are you going? It wasn't his fault. All those times, it wasn't his fault. He had no control over what was happening in the brain.
Gotcha. And that's one of the signs. And so some people may want to know in the chat or the audience is, you mentioned he wasn't himself. What was other signs that you could see now that, needs to be said to people to help them see some things? And again, we're not trying to, pinpoint, everyone's situation. And obviously this show is not saying not go to the doctor. You want to go to the doctor. However, if you're someone that works with older people or you live with the older person or yourself is with your spouse or what have you, there may be some things that you can see through this episode with just their experience. So was there anything else as a sign?
He was 56. So he wasn't what people would consider as old. Al had been a DJ for years, and he would still do like wedding receptions or birthday parties, but it got so that he would forget how to even hook up his equipment. So I would be helping him hook up his equipment. There were times he would say, did I just play that? And I go, yeah, you just played that, and as time went on, he would get worse at it, and I was like, okay, we can't do any more gigs. This is not working out. But so as I keep looking back, I see signs like not remembering how to hook up his own equipment that he had for years. The job, not being able to hold down the job, after the training period. I used to call Al Mr. Fix It because he would break things just to turn around and be able to have to fix it, But he wouldn't be able to put put the screw in the right place anymore. It was just little things, letting the garage door up and down, up and down. I was like, baby, you can't keep letting it go up and down. It just little manly things that he would do was starting to be off.
Gotcha. Okay.
You
And
wouldn't
so,
think something was wrong. I didn't think that something was, why are you tripping? why,
right.
why are you doing that?
Right. Okay. That's good for people to just kind of know that, okay, if I see certain things like this, maybe I should pay attention a little bit more. So going back to the doctor said to stop the bleeding, I guess. What did he say to do?
He wanted us to see a stroke doctor. He said, I want you
Oh,
to see a stroke doctor because CAA can cause brain strokes, with the brain bleeds. So we did, and we went to see a wonderful stroke doctor, and she explained CAA to us more into detail. Um, she says there are 3 stages. The first stage is the person who has CAA will know something's going wrong. The second stage is when the person, like as the spouse, will pick up on things and call them out on it. They will get defensive. I said, well, that's the stage we're in right now. Because whenever I tell him he didn't do something or he should do something, it goes ugly, And she says, and the third stage is the spouse or the other person will be the only one know that's what's going on. So I think we're there now because he's like really clueless of what's going on. But he tries so hard, and I kept reading, trying to find out, how can we help? And I found an article online where Japan has a medicine for CAA. So I sent that to the specialist, Dr. Schultz's office, and now we're with his assistant because I didn't know this man was so worldwide known, right? I didn't have a clue. I thought he was just a regular neurologist. No, ma'am. So now we're with the assistant, and I sent her the article. And when we had our follow-up, I said, did you get a chance to read that article I sent you? And she said, yes, I did. She said, yes, it's in Japan. She said a lot of it was written in Japanese, and I don't know how to read Japanese. She said, but I did find out it was made from flavonoids. And I said, okay. No, I ain't never heard the word flavonoids. I was like, flavonoids. So I came home, got to that computer, found out how to spell it. Oh, okay, flavonoids. Flavonoids is found in the leaves and the stems of broccoli, parsley, mint, and celery. The part that we throw away. I was like, okay. Flavonoids is found in green tea and chamomile tea. All right, come on, Al. Let's go to the store.
So let me interject. So you did some research. You found something. You found out it originated from Japan.
The medicine that they have for CAA.
So it's a medicine. So before we go into how you found out more about the natural part of it, the medicine side of it, because there may be some people who have not even thought of going the way that you have gone in your mind about, the natural way, the earth things. But if somebody was interested in the medicine, was it possible for that Japanese medicine to be available to us here in America? And if so, was it expensive or what did the doctor say that can he get his hands on the medicine or no?
That never even came up. Just, yes, Japan has it. That's it.
Oh, it never came up. Gotcha.
Nope.
Gotcha.
That was it. We were on our own. Yeah, they had him on the same medicine the first neurologist put him on, these 2 pills that they put everybody on, that I never even noticed a difference, but he's still on it because who am I to take him off, So I had to find help because the doctors were like, there's no cure, there's nothing we can do.
Gotcha. Okay, so
When
now I get
they
it.
throw their hands up, you throw your hands up.
Okay.
You're just throwing it up for a different reason, you know.
Come on now.
Yeah. So he directed me on how to move forward, how to do the research. There were articles that I would come across that I didn't realize was even available. So just Al had gotten to the point he was just down to yes and no. We would have a house full of people, he wouldn't engage. Al had that look where you can look at him and there was nobody at home. He had that blank stare.
Gotcha.
But since I started my tea and my supplements, this is what you see now. He's back engaging. He's back in living color. He's Big Al on the mic again.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Listen.
Hell, I don't know. But I
know that's right.
Whatever it is, we gonna get it.
I know that's right.
But you keep trying.
You know, he told me about a year in, we were talking about how I was trying to do my very best to help him. And he said, win what you can win and let the rest go. That's what he told me years ago when I first started on this journey with him.
This is great. I mean, this is so inspiring. This is a love story, and it's befitting because in the month of February is Valentine's Day. Love is in the air, and their anniversary and their birthdays. I mean, this is just great. And hear what she said, you know, and I want to be able to interject this. You know, they got, you know, information clinically, but then they were left on their own. You know, doctors was like, there's nothing else that we can do, you know. And I love the fact that she, you know, threw her hands up to God in prayer and Lord, help and guide me. And when she began to realize this flavonoid, I may be saying it incorrectly, but then going in deeper with some research about what is this flavonoid, and to just hear it, just to know that it's in different foods that we eat. Who would have known to do it? Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So she's saying that she did her research and got the foods, and you heard the foods that she got to the store. So let me ask you this. With that being said, do you have a routine each day that you do for him with these different types of foods and things you combine together? Yes. Or you're finding that he doesn't like certain ones, and how do you incorporate that day to day?
Well, I have to first say Al has been such a great champion for this. Whatever I come up with, give it to me. If it's going to help me, give it to me. Everyone, give it to me. If it's going to help me, give it to me. So I realized with the tea, I was like, okay, there's a culture that drinks tea all day long. And he said, yeah, Chinese, Japan. I said, well, you're getting ready to become one of them because you're going to be drinking tea all day long. So I would make this tea. And even today, he still has 2 to 3 cups of that tea a day. And I haven't created anything. You know, I've just found out what the flavonoids do. Flavonoids reduce the inflammation in the body and in the brain. So if there's swelling from the CAA, guess what? It's bringing that inflammation down. That's what the flavonoid tea is doing, bringing the inflammation down.
So the flavonoid tea, what is in your flavonoid tea?
You know, I'm not going to tell you my secret recipe, but I have started promoting it. I have a 81-year-old in New Jersey who saw our show on the Tamron Hall show, and she's been with me for ever since then. And she buys tea once a month because she's been diagnosed with CAA. Um,
Awesome.
if you don't know, and I don't know if Dr. Paul Schultz was just a special doctor that knew about CAA. Did the other neurologists know about CAA? I don't know.
Mm.
But dementia, the word dementia is like an umbrella. And underneath that umbrella, there's Alzheimer's, there's Lewy body dementia, there's Parkinson's, there's CAA. It's like 5, 6, 7 underneath that dementia umbrella. And they all have different ways of the disease starts. They mimic the same symptoms, memory, cognitive, but you just have to do your research on which one, once you find out the difference between the amyloid plaque collecting in the brain, you'll know what you're up against. When you go into a battle, you gotta wear the right armor.
Yeah.
You have the right armor on when you go into a battle. Because in the beginning, I was just trying to give him brain food. Anything that they say help with brain. Well, now once I was told CAA, I had to focus in on, the arteries of the brain, trying to reduce the amyloid plaque, reducing the inflammation.
Gotcha.
Do your own. Do your own research. We've been so programmed to run to the doctor. We've been so programmed. Run to the doctor. Run to the doctor.
And it's good to do research. So that is that's a tip. Do your own research. And go and see what's out there. And you'll be surprised by the things that when you search for something that is there all along with doing your research. And it's important to start somewhere with wanting to do some research. I know me and my husband started doing research on alternative, for me personally, alternative healthy snacks versus what we've been given as kids. And when we were kids, we just consumed it, loved it. But as you get older, your body needs certain nutrients that it needs to thrive on. So why not find something that gives your body the nutrients, but also tastes good at the same time? And
Right.
so, with this show, my desire is hoping that individuals will get inspired to be able to do something different outside the box when you're talking about your overall health. This is so good. I'm enjoying myself with you all. I do want to ask some more questions before we depart.
Okay.
But how has your faith helped carry you through, this journey, this season of your life, this time? How has your faith helped in this?
It has carried me the entire way. Maybe about he was correctly diagnosed August of 23. And right after the diagnosis, I heard in my spirit, I am trusting you to take care of one of my sons, not just any son, but one of my favorite sons. I threw my head back. I was like, no, I know I'm not hearing this. Do you know what that entails? That's too much responsibility. I know I didn't just hear that. For real? You put that on me? I mean, I had a whole we were going back and forth. I was like, this is too much. I can't do this. One of your favorite sons? That means you really want me to
My.
Before that, I was trying to find a cliff to jump off of. I have thought of every thought a person can think of to get out of their situation. I have thought, should I just go sit in the garage and start the car with the garage door down? I can't do this. This is too much. I can't do this. You know, every thought, should I just take an overdose of pills? There were times I would just go in the shower and I would just cry, cry, cry. I mean, after all we've done, God, after all we've done, we've had our marriage ministry, we've had books written to give you glory. We had our teen conferences. You know, everything we've done has been centered around our Father God, His Word, and now this. But now, now I understand. I understand now. I understand. We have families to save. I understand. We have.
Yes.
I have to share this story because other people. You get lost when the doctors throw their hands up and you don't know what to do. You go home and watch the movie. You watch the person just continue to perish because you don't know. And the God says, "My people perish because of what?
Lack of knowledge." Yeah.
So He has walked me through. I've had so many signs. I'll walk out and find a white feather just out of nowhere. And of course, feathers is a sign from heaven. A red bird to show up out of nowhere. There are so many different signs, so many different visuals He's given me to let me know I'm with you. You just keep going. I'm with you. I'm with you. I want to share this one quick story. In the beginning, we have godparents, Mama O and Papa Rube. So it was time for me to go get them caught up on what I was going through with Al. So I go over and I'm telling them all the things that's going on, and I'm bawling, I'm crying, snot flying, you know, just crying. And they're just sitting there listening to me. And Mama O gets up and walk over to me and put the Bible in my lap. And she goes, "Angela, read this scripture." And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to read. I can't see. My eyes is full of water. I don't want to read this. So I just put my head down, and she goes, "Read it out loud." I'm trying to make you think I'm reading. No, she said, "Read it out loud." So I go on and I read it out loud, and I'm thinking, that don't mean nothing to me. I don't want to hear this. We certified Christian counselors, right? I know the word. I don't want to read this. Y'all don't know what I'm going through. I'm trying to tell y'all what I'm going through. So I read it out loud, and then I give the Bible back to her. And after that, we left. A year passed, 2 years passed, and I'm making a video now on how well we're coming through this season. And I'm making a video, and I tell people, if it's not a death sentence, let's learn how to manage it, people. You know, I'm like, what? Listen to me saying, if it's not a death sentence, let's learn how to manage it. And then I'm thinking after I get off, wait, what was that scripture Mama O had me to read?
You're going to be feeling good.
I had to call her and ask her, what was that scripture? So she told me. The scripture says this sickness is not unto death, but to give God the glory. I'm like, do what? So 2 years ago, you were already trying to speak to me. 2 years ago, you were already telling me that this sickness is not unto death, but to give God the glory.
My Lord.
So that is our name of our company. It ain't Alzheimer's, and it's centered around that scripture. We have the scripture included.
My goodness, this is exciting. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited about the journey because believe it or not, some people forget that the person who is caring for the individual their needs need to be met too. They go through as well. And so just to hear your testimony about how you didn't want to do nothing, you wanted to try to figure out ways to just move on with your own life and forget it. but the Lord was there to be able, step by step, the Lord was able to carry you through this entire time. And I am just excited about it because then then the people that God will send your way, angels and different things, and just I just can only imagine the things that the Lord um wanted to encourage you on to continue to keep going and not give up, and I'm happy about that because spouses, people don't know the brunt of things that can happen when there's someone that they love is sick. And so just to hear you, going through these stages. So I want to encourage someone that's looking and listening. If you know somebody who needs this particular show, share this show with them. Let them know that, look, there's people out there that may feel the same way that you do about giving up. This is too hard. This is too much. This is overwhelming. But you can get past it. Type in the comments, you can get past it. This is something that you can overcome and bear. I'm excited so much about that. So with that being said, what resources, websites, social medias that you would like to share with our audience, even if it's, for them to start their journey of research or whatever you would like to share with them knowing a little bit more about this?
Well, I would ask everyone to follow us on Instagram. It ain't Alzheimer's is our tagline. Um, we're on TikTok also, and I started it because I have goddaughters that kept saying, "Masi, people need to know what you're doing. People need to know what you're going through. You need to document all of this." Because they would see him come back after the tease. They would see the light coming back in him. And they were like, please, let's tell this story. I didn't know nothing about no TikTok and Instagram. I was like, I don't have time for that. My life is really lifing right now. So I don't have, so they said, we'll do it. So they started, doing all of the video I would video it, I would make the videos, and they would take it and they would move forward with it. And they've been doing such a wonderful job telling our story. They truly have. So
I'm excited. Listen, let me tell you all a story. So I've been connected with this couple a long time ago, and she is, and like she said, she's an author. And when I had my book club, she's one of the first authors that I wanted to bring on to the book club. To make a long story short, um, you know, we did time passes on, and so then there's social media. I don't even know at the time that there was at the time of the book came out and we had the book club and she came on to support us. I don't even know how many social medias was out at the time.
Probably one or two. Yeah.
Probably one or two. So, but we lost contact with each other. And just recently, I want to say, as I was in prayer about the Health Talk Show season 2, the Lord made it so where her profile popped up on my profile. And I was like, hold up, wait a minute. I cannot believe it. This is Angela. I got so excited seeing her, and then I started reading about just what, and here's the thing, people, I want to say, your obedience is not just for you, but it's for the story that God wants to tell. It's for his glory for others to get involved with, because she was obedient to share some of her story and just started to go online, that one of her stories, her reels popped up for me to see. And we know algorithms when it comes to social media, you don't see everybody's stuff, even if you're connected. It's funny. We were connected and we didn't even know we were connected. And then when I reached out to her, and we started talking and reminiscing, come to find out that, let's exchange numbers. We were already connected when I called. I got her number and I called the number. Her name was already in my phone, people. And it was vice versa for her. My name was already in her phone. We
Yes.
never lost contact with each other.
Yes. Yes.
So this was needed.
This was in his plan. This was part of his plan the entire time.
The entire time for her to be able to share this portion for us to glean from this month. Of course, there's other health things in the month of February, but this was the time for us to all come together to share, to laugh, to love, and I'm glad. So in the comments, you'll see her Instagram, you'll see her handle. Connect with them on their journey on some things. I'm pretty sure she open for questions if you have questions for her.
Yes.
Was there any other resources you wanted to share with us?
Resources.
Or websites or things?
We do have a website. It ain't Alzheimer's.net. We do have that. I'm going just to continue to put out what I'm doing that's helping him come back online, helping that light stay lit.
Yes.
And it's being a caregiver is more than just washing clothes and cooking. I'm on alert 24 hours a day. If Al jumps up at 3:00 in the morning, I'm okay. What is he doing? I gotta lay there and watch. I can't go back to sleep till I find out that he's laid back down. If he walks outside, I got to make sure I got the camera on to see what he's doing. It's not an easy task at all. It's not. If you're gonna try to do it at home, it's not an easy task at all. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the only one.
No.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the first, and I won't be the last. But I want to at least try to help people not fall into the pit holes that I have fallen into.
Yes.
With this season.
Yes. And the awareness is important because, believe it or not, some people may not have even heard of CAA and what it is. And now they could go back to their own doctor or seek out a neurologist with that term to get more information for their relative, for their family or friend or whoever. You may know somebody that may be dealing with taking care of somebody. This is community. This is what this is for, to gain knowledge and to share experience. Well, I am so excited for all of this, and I in the chat will put down the information. But it was such a pleasure talking with both of you and having Big Al on the screen. I didn't even know he was going to be with us on today, but thank you so much, Big Al, for coming on and being with us. So excited for you to be here. And your shirt, your t-shirt, your shirts of green and things. Thank you so much for doing so. Now, let me ask you this. Is green a significant color for you all?
It is Al's favorite color.
Ah, okay.
What's your favorite color? Green.
Green. Okay, because I see green on different things that you bring out. So I was like, let me ask what green is.
That's his favorite color. And since we're doing this for him, we're going all the way with it.
I have a best friend I had is a friend that was always there with me. My daddy's brother. My daddy's brother was, man, you got some what? It was a little fun. It was like, we can't do that.
Yeah. He has a lot of stories he always reflect back
It was
on.
the truth, though. It was the truth.
Okay. It was the truth, he says.
Oh my gosh. Isn't that great though? That all of a sudden he'll just like, let me tell you this.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And
I
so
love it.
I've learned
It
when
was fun.
some of the stories were like you just roll with it. You just because that's what's playing in their head. I've learned not to say no, that didn't have. You just roll with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then it just seemed like it's momentum to gaining more and more and more. And then just expressing and being free to express, because some
Yes,
caregivers may say, be quiet, not now, but to have that freedom to talk, to have that freedom to express, to have that freedom to, say, I'm about to do this, it's exciting because you see the change in things. And that's a really good thing. So for you all to be connected with them on Instagram and their website, you will find other things that we did not talk about in this show, but you'll find more
First,
things on the
remember,
different things she uses for food and different things. Oh, go ahead, talk. You try to talk to you on the side. What y'all talking
look right there. Look right there. Watch what you ask for.
about? Well, if you connect with them, you'll see the fun, you'll see information, you'll see the tips, you'll see different things that can help with your journey. So, thank you all so much for joining us for this episode. Stay tuned for March, because I do have other other things brewing for March episode. But thank you all again for joining us. And thank you for coming. Thank you, Angela and Big Al, for you all coming and enjoying yourselves on here and coming and talking with me about your journey. It's been great. And you all will see us soon the next time. Stay tuned and be connected for the next Health Talk Show.
It's time to go. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Yeah, I'm good.